Today we're going over the Topcon RL-VH4DR. This is a self-leveling horizontal and vertical laser. Its primary use is for interior use. This unit also comes in two models. The one you will see today is a red beam model, and we also have a model that's in green. So let's get started. First thing about this is yes, it's self-leveling, horizontal, vertical. It does come with a remote control, and the most unique thing about this product, and it is patented technology, is what we call Smart Scan, which I will demonstrate. Green button, turn the unit on. Once I turn the unit on, she self-levels, starts to rotate. The next button down is what we call the speed button, meaning I can turn it off to where I can sit here and move the rotation head and point the beam wherever I want. Okay? The next time I hit the button, you'll notice it's a much slower speed. This speed was designed specifically to work with what I said that's unique about this unit and patented, what we call Smart Scan. If you'll notice this red target here, you'll see that it has two reflectors on each side, which is not like your standard red ceiling card. Now, how this works in this speed is I'm going to hold the card back up here, and when it enters the plane of light, you watch it'll catch the card. It will follow me. But if I hold it there for a few seconds, the beam will eventually lock on and stop. You see it stop, take off. Now I've got control to where I can draw a beam of light 180 degrees of this unit, and it stays right there. So in the interior application, notice how I've put all the visibility of the beam in the area that I'm working. Also, you'll notice when you look on the back side of your ceiling card how you normally use it. You'll be working with a nice line instead of a round dot, trying to pick the center off of it. When I'm done in this area and I want to move it to another area, I bring the card down into the beam of light and I release it, and it goes back to spinning 360 degrees again. Now the next speed, that's a much faster speed. That speed is to be used when you use a LS80 sensor that does the audio tones of beeping, or also, let's say I did not want to use the Smart Scan function and I'm using it in a ceiling application, and I want to take control of the variable speed, speed it up or make it go slow. Then if you notice right here below that, I'm going to hit stop, and then I'm going to sit here and determine the speed that I want it to be. This makes it go faster as long as I hold it on there, or I can slow it back down. But that's what we call the variable speed. The final buttons that I want to point out are these over here. This unit has an X-axis, which if you're looking at the front of the unit, left to right, and it has a Y-axis, which is front to back. What that means is when you get in an application where you want slope to a ceiling, a single slope, of course you're going to stop the rotation. You're going to have this hanging up on a wall mount, and then you're going to have this at this height, and at the other end you're going to have a mark that you want to hit to. So as you drive that beam to hit that point, that's where these buttons come into play. And all you have to do is hit this button one time, and you'll notice the X is flashing. So but what we're going to do is, if I want to slope that beam that way, hit that arrow, and that'll start driving. I'm going to point the beam over there, and that'll start driving that beam to the slope. Okay? Now let's say I have it sloped the direction I want here, but as some of these architecturals have starting to do, we're finding ceilings that have not just a single slope to them, but they have what we call a compound slope, where instead of things running north and south or east and west, they're running to a corner. So once I have it sloped this way, then I can point to this direction, and then I hit this button again and go over to my y-axis, which now I have the control of tilting this head up and down this way. Now once I've aligned that head to them 2 points, then I'm going to go back here, start my rotation again, and then I can use the Smart Scan card, or I can just use as a regular ceiling card. It's your choice. But just remember, always, if you want to use the Smart Scan, you got to have it in the Smart Scan mode in order for it to work properly. Now, I don't want no more slope. And you notice when I went to slope, the manual button automatically come on. I want to go back to flat self-leveling again. So all I can do is hit this manual button 1 time. You notice the rotation head is stopped. The laser is leveling up. Once it levels up to perfectly flat again, then it will go back to rotating. And then of course, at the end of the day when you're done, just power the laser off. As I said, this unit is a self-leveling horizontal vertical laser. I'm going to show you one button specifically on the panel that is just for the vertical mode only, and that is when you are laying it down on its side. This button right here. What this button does for you, it will automatically find plumb for you so that you're not having to physically grab the head and line it up with an arrow to make sure it's plumb over a point. As I push this button, you'll watch. You'll see the head circle, and then once it finds plumb, you'll see the red beam right there on the ground there. Now, after it's found plumb, what I'm going to do is start the rotation of it. I had to first turn it off, start the rotation of it, and I'm going to put it in that special slow speed. And when I showed you scanning horizontally, I want to show you we can do the same thing vertically. As you see it going up and down the wall here, I put the card, catch the beam, it'll follow me, but remember if I hold the card there for a second, it will stop. Once it stops, now I can draw, again, a line 180 degrees of this unit for vertical. That is what we call smart scanning. And then if I want to release it from here and take it down to the other end, put the card in front, release, and she starts spinning 360 again. Also, I mentioned that this unit comes with a remote control. If you notice on the remote control, the buttons are similar as you see on the display. The one thing I want to caution you about the remote control, on job sites, people can accidentally hit buttons and not mean to. And what that means, if they didn't mean to, it could change the slope of your laser and how it's operating. So when you use the remote control on the RL-VH4DR, make sure that you hold your finger down on the buttons of what you're wanting to do. Example, if I'm wanting to slope this laser in the x-axis, which would be this direction, you notice there it is that says X. Well, I'm going to hold my finger down on there, and it takes a few seconds, and you'll notice that the red LED finally comes on. Now that it's come on, I can sit here and use these buttons to drive this head which direction I want to slope it. Also, you'll notice on the remote control there's a green button here which is not on the front of the unit, and what that's for is, let's say I have this and I'm doing a movie theater ceiling. This is up 20-25 feet high up in the air. I'm down here on the ground, so instead of me have to climb up a ladder or get on a scissor lift to come up to the unit, let's say we're taking a break for lunch or there's something that's went on the job and we're not using the laser right now. So instead of the laser sitting up there rotating, drawing battery life out of it, you can take your remote control and stand from the ground and this green button, and you hold down on it, and all of a sudden you'll see a little signal sit there that this is sending it. And what that does is it puts the laser asleep. It's not turning off the self-leveling and so forth. It's just turning the beam power off. So that way it's saving battery life. Then when you either get done with lunch or whatever the distraction was that why you're not using it for a while, then you just go back to your remote, hit this, then the beam will come on and everything is functioning like it was before you hit it. Again, this is the remote control that comes with this unit. And always remember, whatever you're wanting to do, hold the buttons down for a while. And we've done that for a purpose so that accidents don't happen. The RL-VH4DR comes with a nice hard shell carrying case. The advantage to that is that in the construction environment, dirt, water, dust, etc. can get in some of the competitive carrying cases and this makes a mess of things. As you can see, this is easily that can be cleaned out. What's nice is also that everything fits in one carrying case. The laser mounts in here. Of course, I said this was an interior laser, so your wall mount to do your ceilings fits right there. Your remote control fits right here. Your ceiling card fits right here. And everything closes up nice and tidy. And as always, Topcon's reputation and quality, this laser comes with a 5-year warranty as well.